Here's a recap of all the latest filings in the last couple days in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation, as well as what's going on with the Google subpoena that took place for some of the creators over on YouTube. And we had a hearing today to figure out deadlines, and neither team really won. Let's chat about the Google subpoena first, just to get it out of the way. As you guys probably already heard, allegedly 16 creators on YouTube, Google, ended up getting subpoenas that were given to Google from Blake Lively. So Blake Lively's team subpoenaed Google for information on 16 particular creators, and then those 16 creators got a letter like this letting them know there was a subpoena. This subpoena isn't for those creators' videos or content or emails or messages or anything like that. What apparently the subpoena is for is their IP address, their username, their real name, their address, their bank number, which actually your bank number doesn't mean crap. Nobody can do anything with your bank number. That's why it's literally written on the face of your check and anyone can have a copy of it. It can't do anything. If you don't have more information to go with that, nobody can do anything with your bank number. They can't see your banking. They don't see your credit card info, nothing. Apparently now this has been confirmed both by YouTube and by Blake Lively's lawyer, Ezra, that this is in fact a subpoena that they issued. The question is, why did they issue it to these certain 16 creators? We know there's a reason. This is not random. This is not because certain creators were anti-Blake and pro-Justin, and because of what they were saying, they got the subpoena. There's got to be more to it, that these particular 16 were chosen. Now, here's my guess. It's completely speculation and just my opinion, but a lot of people involved in this lawsuit have now given their discovery, given their documents, including Jed Wallace. So I feel like maybe there was something in all of this that mentioned something about these 16 creators that made Blake's team issue a subpoena for them in particular. Just as an example, maybe there was an email found in Jed Wallace's communication with these 16 creators. Maybe he had a list with these 16 creators listed and they don't know why. Maybe I don't know. There's so many maybes, but there's got to be something. I also find it extremely interesting how much these 16 creators are freaking out. Like, if you've done nothing wrong and you have nothing to hide, then what do you care if there's a subpoena for this random information from Google? They're not asking for your content. They're not asking for, anything that you have created or ownership or something. And if you haven't done anything wrong, then just let it roll. They'll get your IP address, your name, and things like that. They'll see you had nothing to do with, the PR smear campaign, defamation, or retaliation, and you're done. But again, this is just my opinion. I wasn't subpoenaed, but if Justin Baldoni or Blake Lively's team subpoenaed me, I don't think I'd be stressing as much. I definitely don't think I'd be hiring a lawyer. I might get some advice and write my own sort of refusal, but I also would not be raising money. Now, a lot of the bigger creators that got one of these are actually fundraising now from you, their viewers, to pay for their legal fees for this. Some of them have opened a GoFundMe, and some of them have just been asking for like super likes or super chats on YouTube to get money from this. Another funny part of this is some creators that are, anti-Blake or whatever you want to call it, are actually upset that they didn't get a subpoena, but yet they're going on with all the people that did get a subpoena, acting like they're going to fight it too, and it's got nothing to do with them. I find that extremely odd. But anyway, another person who got a subpoena is this lady. So this lady posts astrology is what people are trying to say. She only had something like 300 followers, but she got a subpoena.
We just found out this morning that one of the 16 creators, it's not a public list of the creators. You have to want to say it out loud for yourself. You want to publicize it. But one of the creators is an astrologist. She posts astrology videos. She has 294 subscribers on YouTube. 294 subscribers.
So yes, her name says astrology, but if you go to her page, it looks like this. This is not astrology. This is like celebrity gossip stuff, and the majority is Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and it leans very Justin Baldoni. So again, my thoughts, there's a reason these 16 people got it. What the reason is, we have no idea, but I can't imagine that is simply because they post anti-Blake content. And if it is, then that's not right, because there are so many that post anti-Blake content, so why did she pick these 16? As for the hearing today, so the judge had a hearing, all the lawyers and all these situations were on board, and what they discussed was a schedule, a timeline. So Blake Lively wanted to extend the timeline for subpoenas and information, especially third-party subpoenas, till September the 30th, and the judge was like, no, I'm not buying it, I'm not extending it. He did give a little extension. He went to August 15th, and then after that, if they don't get what they want from these third party, then they have to do like a motion to compel and things. So basically he told Blake's team, look, I'm not extending it. If I extend it to September, then everything's going to get pushed and I'm not interested in that. So you need everything in by August 15th. So if you haven't done your third party subpoenas yet, you need to get on that ASAP. Blake's team has already said they do plan on issuing more third-party subpoenas. It's extremely common in situations like this. And she's accusing Justin Baldoni of defamation, of a PR smear campaign, and retaliation. And she needs proof of that. If she thinks that took place, she has to issue these subpoenas to third parties to figure out exactly who was involved. Justin's lawyer did speak up asking about those Google subpoenas, and the judge immediately shot him down. He actually sounded cranky and fed up. He was like, look, you guys can talk about that later. You obviously have very different opinions on this. You can fight it out after. This is just about the schedule. The lawyers for Stephanie Jones and her company Jones Works, as well as Jed Wallace, their lawyers were all on there. They didn't have any issues to the August 15th deadline and not pushing anything further. The only interesting part of that was that Jed Wallace's lawyers actually said, yeah, no problem here. We've already given everything. Jed Wallace, you may recall, is the self-proclaimed online hitman whose job is to, protect people's reputations by seeding things on Reddit and other websites. So apparently he's already handed over all his documentation. So was there something in that made Blake end up going and subpoenaing these 16 people? Who knows? This week, we also saw a motion submitted by Justin Baldoni's team to compel Blake Lively's team to hand over all of the amounts and costs and losses she's gotten from damages due to Wayfair and Justin Baldoni. They want to see all the money. They want to see what she lost. They want to see her income, what she's worth, all that. Blake's team is basically saying in this, like, you're being premature. We need the experts to figure this stuff out. We can't just, tally it all up online and hand it over. So they have already said, yes, we'll give you this stuff, but you're going to have to wait a minute. We need an expert to figure it out. They're also saying, you're not going to get my net worth. There's no reason for that, and we're not agreeing to it. And they're also saying that they told Baldoni's side that they're not able to get this information from Blake's companies, like Betty Buzz and things like that. And they told them apparently that they're going to have to do a third-party subpoena to get that information. And they said, as far as they know, nothing has been submitted by Wayfair as of yet. Here's exactly how they worded it. They said, to the best of my knowledge, the Wayfair parties have not separately pursued discovery directly with these entities. And then, of course, Baldoni's team got to respond to that, and they put this in. So they are looking for a few things. So they're complaining, and they want Blake to be compelled to provide a computation of her alleged damages, the theory under which she seeks damages, and documents supporting the compensation. B, a verified response to an interrogatory seeking a computation of each category of alleged damages. And C, documents relating to her claims for damages, including, but not limited to, documents sufficient to show her net worth, such as financial statements, assets, liabilities, etc. This is what she said no way to. She's agreed to everything else, but she wants experts to do it. And this part, she said no. The wording for Wayfair, as usual, is very dramatic. They continuously say in this that she refuses to give it, but then they add they want an expert to do it. So she's not refusing to do it. She's just saying we need our experts to do it. Now, this is the part where they're referring to the fact that Blake says that she's not able to get certain financial documents from these companies she owns and that they have to subpoena them. So they write in here and they say that she's claimed, of course, a dramatic drop in sales in most of her companies, which I personally believe based on everything we were seeing from August of last year. But it says, surprisingly, Miss Lively's counsel claimed that Miss Lively was having difficulties obtaining financial information from her own company. Miss Lively's counsel declined to explain what specific steps had been taken to procure that information over the last few months. So this is where Blake says that she told them, look, I'm having trouble getting it. You need to put in a subpoena. And they're just basically saying she didn't give it. So the judge will be ruling on this one, whether or not Blake has to hand the stuff over now or whether she can wait for an expert to figure it all out and then hand it over. The other interesting one was this filing from Leslie Sloan's lawyers. They are asking for all attorney fees, etc., to be paid by Justin Baldoni because of trying to sue her for defamation based on the one comment from James Fatuska from Daily Mail. Her lawyers wrote and said, these baseless claims were filed solely to inflame the public and censor Miss Sloan, chill her protected First Amendment speech, and inflict significant emotional, reputational, and professional damage to her and her company. Vatushka gave a sworn statement. That's not what he said. And Baldoni's team, she says, just ran with it. So she wants her money back. That's pretty much it for the filings for the last couple days. I'm going to keep doing this each day to keep you guys updated. So make sure you hit follow.